Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, the CCJ was the main focus of Parliament on Tuesday, and the 65 graduate from the Castle Bruce Secondary School. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is two courts in one? The CCJ has two functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Thank you for staying with us. The 6th meeting of the 4th session of the 8th Parliament under the Commonwealth of Dominica Constitution got underway on Tuesday, July 1st, 2014, at the House of Assembly on Victoria Street in Roseau. The audited financial statements of the Discover Dominica Authority for the year ended June 30th, 2013, and that of the Dominica Broadcasting Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2012 were tabled by the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Honorable Ian Douglas, and the Honorable Minister for Information and Telecommunications, Honorable Ambrose George, respectively. The highlight of the meeting was the second and third readings of a bill for an act to amend the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica to facilitate the establishment of the CCJ as the final court of appeal in Dominica. The bill was introduced by the Honorable Minister for Legal Affairs, Honorable Ian Douglas.
The Caribbean Court of Justice was established in February of 2001 by 10 Caribbean countries, with Dominica and St. Vincent signing on some 2 years later. The agreement came into force on July 23, 2003, and the court was inaugurated on the 16th of April 2005. To date, Barbados, Belize, Guyana and Suriname have taken steps to confer jurisdiction on the court in its appellate jurisdiction, in order that it may replace the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council as their final court of appeal.
The CCJ is the interpreter of the Treaty of Chaguaramas, which governs the rights and obligations of CSME states. Honorable Douglas then informed the Assembly of the benefits of the CCJ.
The establishment of the CCJ as our final court of appeal will represent a symbol of our continued effort to assert the independence of the countries of the region, and also further strengthen the spirit of Caribbean unity, joining institutions like the ECCB, the University of the West Indies cricket team, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, among others like the regional security systems and other regional institutions, Madam Speaker.
Leader of the opposition, Hector John, voiced the opposition's support of the move to the CCJ, citing it as an indication of the Caribbean's move to stand on its own. The Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit announced in January 2014 that Dominica had received no objection from the government of the United Kingdom to move away from the Privy Council and recognize the CCJ as the final appellate court. Dominica's leader, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, gave his support to Dominica's accession to the CCJ. Honorable Skerrit sees that move as Dominica leading the way yet again.
They talk about we must follow St. Lucia and so on. Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and the government of St. Lucia through the Governor General in the Parliament of St. Lucia have said they are following the lead of Dominica in the move towards recognize the Caribbean Court of Justice.
The Prime Minister is adamant that Dominica is well positioned to make that move.
They say, Madam Speaker, we should wait. But it will be the same opposition if everybody had gone and we'll be last cataract, Madam Speaker, then they will say, oh, Dominica always lasts. Why is Kerry waiting for? Is there something he's hiding? Is there something that they want to do? This and that, Madam Speaker. Because we are leaders now, as we have been leaders in many other areas in the Caribbean, Madam Speaker, they have a problem with that. But if we are elected to lead, we must lead. And we are elected to lead not only Dominica, but indeed the Caribbean. And that is why today, Madam Speaker, we could have a Dominican at the head of CARICOM. And that is why today we can have a Dominican as the head of power, because we went out and lead, Madam Speaker.
The first reading of the bill took place at the last meeting of the House on March 26, 2014, which was followed by a 90-day period before the second and third readings of the bill. When the bill to amend the Act is approved by the Parliament, it will be delivered to the President for his assent. In more Parliament news, the opposition's candidate for the St. Joseph constituency, Monel Williams, took her oath as a senator of the Dominica Parliament when the 6th meeting of the 4th session of the 8th Parliament got underway on Tuesday. Government Senator Tammy Jarna was among the first to congratulate the new senator.
I would like to congratulate Senator Williams for taking the bold step to become a part of the Senate and join the Parliament of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Since the last election, I've served as the only female senator in the Parliament, and so I'm very happy that today the opposition has taken the opportunity to bring in a female member to their side. And so, Senator Williams, I congratulate you. I would also like to say to the senator that now that she's a parliamentarian and more so a female parliamentarian, the public scrutiny is going to be heightened. And we know that as females, the yardstick that's used to judge our behavior is different from that of the men. So I would like to encourage Senator Williams to conduct herself both in and outside of the Parliament with the highest level of dignity and respect at all times. And she being a part of the Parliament, Madam Speaker, has brought us one step closer to our goal of having at least 33% female representation in the Parliament.
The Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Alex Boyd Knights, also welcomed the Senator Williams to the House.
Everybody knows that I want to see more women in Parliament. So therefore, it stands to reason that I'm happy that you are here, and I welcome you wholeheartedly.
Senator Williams had this to say in response.
It's a pleasure to serve in this House as well. I am honored to say, Madam Speaker, I've listened to the House of Parliament, and it's always been something that I wanted to say. So today, I say thank you again, Madam Speaker.
Parliamentary Representative for the Castle Bruce constituency, Honorable Johnson Drago, has encouraged the 2014 graduating class of the Castle Bruce Secondary School to develop positive attitudes. Honorable Drago represented the Minister for Education, Honorable Peter Seja, at last week's graduation ceremony when 65 students bade farewell to their alma mater.
Your journey will only be successful if you adopt the correct attitude. Your attitude determines whether you persevere or quit. It determines whether you win or lose. And it determines whether you succeed or fail. As Winston Churchill indicated, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference.
Honorable Drago assured the students that knowledge and skills learned should be utilized to ensure success, and thus encouraged them to use them wisely. He noted that most importantly, the journey to success cannot be completed without faith and trust in God.
Remember to nurture the spiritual part of your life, for it is only with the help of God that we are able to succeed. Put God first in all you do, and He will bless and protect you.
8 students graduated with honors, 2 with distinction, and 45 with passes. Among the top performers at that ceremony was Luan Lawrence, who was named valedictorian and received several awards, including Most Disciplined Female Student and the Principal's Award. Aveline Stevenson, DA Vibe Salutatorian Awardee, and Shauna Williams, former head girl, were also recipients of the Principal's Award, as well as numerous other awards. Also awarded in high esteem was Kanika Seraphin, who captured the award for Student of the Year. That ceremony marked the 13th graduation ceremony of the Castle Bruce Secondary School. In other news, over the course of the next 3 days, the Office of Disaster Management in Dominica will continue to host a National Disaster Database Training Workshop on the National Disaster Loss Accounting System. The workshop, which was officially launched on Monday, is an addition to ongoing efforts to provide relevant information for policy making and to better identify, assess, and monitor disaster risks and enhance early warning. Program Officer at the Office of Disaster Management, Stephen Joseph, described the workshop as critical since Dominica is one of the more vulnerable countries for natural disasters.
The development of a national disaster loss accounting system, in our estimation, is critical to our own ability to quantify and place value on impact when faced with disasters.
Regional Liaison Officer representing the UN Development Program in Barbados and the OECS, Alexia Cook, says information on the resulting damage after a disaster is pivotal to risk and vulnerability analysis that guide a nation and sector-based policies. She explained that the disaster database is part of a larger project for the OECS.
This disaster database is part of a larger project entitled Strengthening Public Investment in Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation in the Eastern Caribbean. The project is expected to result in the improved integration of disaster risk reduction into development planning and the improvement of disaster response and recovery.
According to Cook, this workshop is particularly significant in light of a preliminary analysis which indicates a lack of advancement in capturing disaster loss data and information. The training workshop is being facilitated by Laura Rossello and Maurizio Maffi, representatives from CIMA and Italian Research Foundation. This program has so far been conducted in 5 other OECS countries. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Louis. Premièrement, le Parlement Dominique ouvert en l'occasion aujourd'hui. Le gouvernement fait une présentation deuxième et puis troisième reading bill pour amener la constitution là, faire provision pour Dominique quitter Privy Council et puis brancher en bas Caribbean Court of Justice. Ministre des Affaires légales, Honorable Ian Douglas, présenté bill là à ce compte gouvernement. Plusieurs membres parlement fait contribution à ce débat bill là, en parmi opposition qui fait parole pour gouvernement de chain au référendum, bagay gouvernement la fait parole par les pièces fondation. Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, en contribution à ce bill là, fait parole comment Dominique bien plaisir pour bien avancer, qu'on pays CARICOM qui a mis mise en place pour brancher en bas Caribbean Court of Justice. Tout membre parlement à ce côté gouvernement supporte bill. Dominique déjà tapé pouvoir en l'Angleterre pour quitter Privy Council. En même temps aussi, ministre touriste Honorable Ian Douglas présenté papier financier Discover Dominic Authority et puis ministre information Honorable Ambrose George papier financier Radio DBS. Un sénateur neuf Honorable Monel Williams aussi sémanté point l'office à ses côtés opposition. D'autres nouvelles, un groupe GIS Charlottesville venu ensemble pour développer la communauté ailleurs. Groupe là engagé pour nettoyer plage communauté là. Membre parlement Honorable Ambrose George, qu'a un support pour groupe là.
Ça nous ni à Charlottesville, c'est nous avancer en groupe Charlottesville Youth Empowerment Committee. Avec yo garder Charlottesville avait décidé yo aller faire quelque chose pour faire Charlottesville plus net pour commencer avec nettoyer beach là ou Suki pour Anchorage Hotel avec tous les dimanches pour 5 semaines qui passaient tous les samedis tous les dimanches yo ke venir ensemble avec que nettoyer zodis hot beach là. C'est métal, c'est by cardboard, by bouteille, n'importe chose qui a sur beach là. Yo tiré avec nous taper en voiture, en truck pour mener ça à la base. So ça va continuer tous les dimanches.
Et l'autre projet groupe là qui engagé, c'est pour nettoyer Wavin communauté là.
L'autre projet a décidé c'est pour nettoyer 3 main Wavin à Charlottesville. On est premier point à nord. On est ça ici pour l'école Charlotte Nursery avec une union function junction Fortney. OK? Yo déjà nettoyé yon là pour Fortney avec yon là pour pont là Charlottesville. Mais yon là pour Fisheries Cooperative là pour l'école là yo still travailler dedans parce que teni autant débris qui déposé en Ravine là nous teni trough là décembre l'année passée. So yo venu ensemble et yo décidé pour nettoyer ça. Nous te aussi ni pour point en équipement en baco pour aider yo pour tuer ces gauches là avec pour nettoyer dalle là. So ça nous ka vraiment c'est yo ka fini travail ça avec toutes ressources là ça est l'argent pour faire ce travail ça. Sortir out on constituency based projects, ministre information, telecommunication and constituency empowerment. Avec yo servir l'argent ça pour gagner tools comme rubber boots, rake, sac garbage, gloves pour aider yo pour faire travail là de manière qui bon.
Dans la nouvelle, le ministre de l'Éducation a mis en place pour adresser cette situation où les garçons pas qu'à faire bien bon en examination grade 6. Parole celle-là sortir du ministère de l'Éducation, honorable Peter Saint-Jean.
Pour plusieurs années, actuellement, nous avons observé que ces jeunes filles qui fait meilleur passer ces jeunes garçons, ces petits boys-là. Et entre ministre de l'Éducation, c'est pour nous, il y a le problème, un grand bitin pour nous, parce que c'est faux, nous trouver une manière, là nous savons, jeunes garçons qui travaillent en part avec ces jeunes filles-là. En ministre de l'Éducation, en ces différentes écoles-là, nous avons mis différents programmes en place pour adresser ces problèmes là, puisque c'est faut tout le monde comprendre que c'est faut aider nous et nous avons créé un sous-parent et communauté là pour aider nous travailler avec ces garçons pour nous faire bien à l'école.
Finalement, le département de drogue Dominica et puis l'école et les Guillaume contre danger de drogue. Parole celle-là sur le chef de département là, mademoiselle Jacinta Banes.
Nous avons fait un travail à l'école. Nous avons commencé bien bonnet. Puis nous avons dit plus bonnet nous commencer c'est y a plus d'informations. So nous avons commencé en preschool là. Nous avons fait un livre teacher preschool pour aider ces enfants là. Et puis c'est officier, nous sommes officiers en tous ces districts là, health district, you can aller à l'école là, you can parler bas ces enfants là, you can faire workshop et puis you can buy tout cas de leçons. So moi satisfait ces petits monde là, you ont l'eau information et puis you pour savoir comment you can servir ça.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is 2 courts in 1? The CCJ has 2 functions, an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
In-studio discussions, insight, Creole news, Road to the Throne, Calypso, Creole Festival, Carnival, and lots more local programming. See it all on the Government Information Service, your first for local news.
A goal without a plan is just a wish. If you want to make something happen, you should be willing to put in the work. Making a plan can seem daunting, but with some diligence, the right tools, and a little creativity, you will be able to lay out a plan and start achieving your goals. Sitting back and waiting for someone else to make your dream come true will leave you wishing forever. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the GIS News team, thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.